I'm Arik Napoles, and today we'll be taking a look at Mahler's First Symphony. More specifically, the journey of it, the ups and the downs, and just how this piece evolutionized over time. So he first began composing this piece in 1886 and didn't finish until 1888. So about 2 years, and he actually didn't get to perform it until 1889, which was about 18 months after he finally finished writing it. He first performed it with the Budapest Philharmonic Orchestra, and during this time he actually used it as programmatic music. So when you're listening to it, there's going to be the story, there's going to be illustrations in your head. He wrote some symphonic poems, which actually coincided with a book called Titan, written by Jean Paul in Hungary during their time. However, this wasn't really clicking with the audience. They were annoyed, they were confused, they just didn't understand the poem because it didn't match what they were hearing. So unfortunately for Mahler, this was not a huge success, and he actually left it blank for 3 years. He didn't touch it, he just moved on with his life for 3 years. In 1893, Mahler began to make revisions to his symphony, but unfortunately we don't exactly know what he did to the original score since we don't have the Budapest premiere performance to compare it to. But from a letter he wrote to Richard Strauss, he said he made the whole piece more slender and more transparent as a whole. Additionally, he took the major criticism about the lack of program notes, so he decided to add descriptive movement titles, and he also changed the entire piece name to Titan, a tone poem and symphonic form. When he performed it with the Hamburg Symphony, it was actually overall a huge success, so yay for Mahler. Now, when we look at his third performance back in Saxon Court in Weimar, Germany, he made changes to the program notes. So the program notes were actually more fluid, they actually kind of matched what the audience was hearing, so that was a huge success for Mahler during that time. But it still received backlash. And in the quotes from Mahler himself, he said, "My symphony was received with fierce opposition by some, and with wholehearted approval by others. The opinions clashed in the amusing way, in the streets and in the salon." For the fourth performance, in Berlin, he actually removed the second movement, Blooming. So it was originally a work of 5 movements, but now it's only 4 as we know today. And for the reason why he removed it, we don't entirely know. There's many theories speculating why he removed it, but that's a whole different topic for a whole nother day. He also removed the programmatic material that went with it, so there's no more symphony poems that's going on with it. There's no guide on how you're supposed to listen to the symphony. It's all absolute music, and it's just how the audience is being interpreting it from hearing it. And for the reason why he removed it, he actually wrote to a letter to one of his friends, Max Marschalk. He quoted, "Originally, my friends persuaded me to supply a kind of program in order to facilitate the understanding of the D major symphony. Thus, I had subsequently invented this title and explanations. That I omitted them this time was caused not only by the fact I considered them inadequate, but also because I found out how the public has been misled by them." So he wants the audience to make up the interpretations for themselves, and which is kind of not true, because his symphony isn't just absolute music. There is meaning behind there, and there's many speculations of what it could be. It could be his upbringing, it could be his life, but there is no right or wrong answer. And he actually wants you to find that out for yourself, what this movement means to you. In the same letter he wrote to his friend Max, "In my conception of the work, I was in no way concerned with the detailed setting forth of an event, but much rather the feeling." So as you listen to this movement, what does this mean to you? What are you feeling? What are you hearing? What are you imagining?